I'll be worshiping.
Yes, I can hear you. Okay. Now to hit the ground running, could you tell us how you joined Prison Fellowship Nigeria? Do you still remember how you joined?
Yes, I did. Good afternoon, viewers. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Anakhe, Ajayi, popularly known as Tech Pastor. So, yes, that's right. Talking about how I joined the prison ministry, it's quite a long story, but I'll just make it brief and summarize it. Usually, when I go to pray, sometimes in the mountain a while ago, there's this brother I met who was an ex-inmate. I mean, so rest in peace anyway, because he's late now. He told me about all of the outreaches, his experience in the prison, how the prison fellowship come to, do outreach, reach out program, and all of them come to bless them. And he was very particular about this program we carry out, which is the prison Sycamore Tree Project, that's the STP. And I could still remember how he had prisoners John's Bible, which was given to him while he was in the prison. So he was talking so passionately about the works and the mission of the prison. And that's really, at that point, I got so interested and invested in what is being carried out by the prison fellowship. So it was something compelling that made me come in there. It was all about passion, the willingness to serve. Like when Jesus said in the Bible, I was in prison, you didn't visit me, So it is more than just what you can get in the physical, right? It is about your spiritual assignment. It's about your passion to be able to impact lives, to be able to help transform those who have been affected by crime in ways we cannot even begin to mention. So when you give back to society, when you give back to humanity through these voluntary endeavors, there's this piece to help put a smile on the face of someone, and that's really something I feel it's a good one, because having to know that this person is smiling, this person has hope because of what I've just done, it gives you this sense of fulfillment, and it also make you know, oh, I'm in a good book of God, right? Because all of those endeavors to the glory of God, not to the glory of man. And it's interesting for you to know that there are a lot of people who are in this correctional facility who their family don't even know they are there, and these persons have been forgotten a long time. Nobody comes to visit them, no hope. They're just there, they're frustrated, and nothing is coming up. But when we come like this and we bring this message of hope, let them know that the love of Jesus is real. It doesn't matter who might have abandoned you at this part, and it doesn't matter where you are right now. This is not the end of the journey. You shouldn't give up hope. You should keep being hopeful. You should keep hope alive, and then you should understand that there's always a way out, and miracles do happen, and that's not the end. You can always pick up from where you stopped and keep moving on. So that's for the aspect of the benefits, right? So every laborer is worthy of his wages. You might not get direct financial benefits or whatever coming from your endeavors, but God always knows how to repay all of his faithful servants. Well, so while you engage in these activities, God knows what is befitting for you. He knows you need to eat. He knows you need to clothe. He knows you're living in the world, even if you are not of this world. He knows that being in the world, we have some of our expenses that we need to do. That's what informed Jesus in paying his taxes, when he asked Peter to go to the river to get money from the mouth of the fish. So he also knows that we have our fiscal needs that needs to be met. When you do the work of God passionately, he opens the door for you. He brings opportunities your way. The opportunities could come from prison fellowship or wherever, or it might be as a direct result of all of your efforts towards advancing the work of the kingdom. I'm talking about what other aspects I function in the prison fellowship besides just being the youth leader. Yes, I was already a member of the prison fellowship first before I became a youth. I became the youth coordinator. So definitely there are other aspects. That period, I became interested in the activities of the prison fellowship and what they do. But like I mentioned, I had no contact person, or I didn't know how to go about it. Until a particular day where I saw a brother on X, that's formerly Twitter, who tweeted that I just ministered before a congregation of over 1,000 inmates. And then I was like, wow, that's awesome. And being that I was very interested in the activities of the prison fellowship, even though at that point I never knew it was the prison fellowship that under the umbrella of the prison fellowship, he went to that outreach. But I was just interested in going to the prison and then having some prison works and all. When I reached out to him, I was like, oh bro, how did you go about this? He said he's in Lagos. Do you have any chapter here in Abuja? So he preferred me to the Lagos chapter. I think I was speaking to the PRO or the secretary at that time, who happened to be yourself. And I think from here, you know the rest of the story. So you passed the chairman number for Abuja chapter. I reached out to him. We scheduled a meeting. I was interviewed. He asked me a series of questions. Why was I passionate about the prison ministry? Why would I want to come on board? What's the driving force? He asked about my salvation story and everything. So I was cleared about all of that. He invited me to their general meeting, which is usually every last Saturday of every month, like 6 months. I went there, attended, and also I was part of the contingent of the youth that went for an event we had, a youth gathering we had in Kefi at that time as well. So that was the first time I was in Kefi, and it was under the umbrella of prison fellowship. So from that moment, I've been going on mission trips and all of that. So that's how I go. Just by God's
directly support youths that are affected in our facility, any of our facilities.
I would say, permit me to say, basically all of our programs that we currently run in the prison supports youth, right? Then we talk about, for example, the prisoner's journey, which we use the book of Mark as a reference for our teaching, and it talks about how the journey of a prisoner, just how they were in their previous life, which led them into that being incarcerated behind the walls, and all of those activities that led them there. And then we're talking about the pathway, how they came to meet Jesus, and also how they can be transformed, which is the way out. I get it. Then I also have the Sycamore Tree project that's all based on what we call restitution. You know, people basically talk about a crime, when you crime just forgive and you forget. There's also something called restitution. And if you look at the story of Zacchaeus, because that's actually the story where that program is being taught. The story of Zacchaeus was a wealthy man, was a tax collector according to the Bible. But he was a man of faith. He was a man who heard Jesus was passing, and he, because of the small title, it would have been easily overreading, and then it would not be noticed. But he went up, he took the pain and climbed up to a sycamore tree because he wanted to see Jesus. And then as Jesus was passing, Jesus saw him, and that took some amount of faith, because not everyone would want to take that pain, climbing up a tree just to see somebody, you know. He took some belief because he saw the signs and the wonders Jesus has been performing everywhere, and he wanted to see this man. So he went up the tree. From that place, Jesus saw him and said, "I'm coming to your house tonight for tea." And when Jesus went, people, all the naysayers, what's this man doing? He said he's the Messiah, he said he's Christ, what's he doing with the tax collector, what's he doing with the sinner, what's he doing? You know, there was all sort of talk. But when Jesus entered the space and then he said, "Salvation has come to you," he was able to, should I use the word convince or save Zacchaeus. And after the encounter with Jesus, Zacchaeus stood up and said, "I am selling more than half of my property, and I'll be giving back to everybody I have forcefully collected from, that I've extorted." Right? That is restitution. You get it? So many persons have, youth, so to speak, have have done some certain crimes that have given a scar to the family of those people that are affected by this crime. And if through that program, through restitution, we could get to link to those families that they've done this heinous crime to, and let them know, oh, this person at some point did this and did that, but this person now is not a changed person. This person has taken a new leaf. This person has Christ in them. Are you willing to forgive? Some, oh, their heart is still hardened, and they say, no, you are unable to forgive.
In your words, what does Prison Fellowship Nigeria do? What do we do?
Okay. Well, in my own words, like you asked, the Prison Fellowship is a faith-based organization, having that we are, although crime, you know, as we know, crime has no religion, crime is not popular to any particular person, but for we in Prison Fellowship, I call it a faith-based because our missions and our ministry is rooted on the belief of our Lord Jesus Christ. So it is a faith-based organization that is dedicated to transforming the lives of all those that are affected by crime, both the inmates and including their family. As we know, crime even in society where these crimes are committed, all of these people have been affected by the crimes that are happening one way or the other. So the prison fellowship will help to bridge the gap, we help to transform lives of those people that have been affected through outreaches, through various signature programs we have going on in the prison and all the prison. And also from our outreaches, we do workshops and all of those things, we engagements we have with the community. We have to also help the families of those inmates up in whatever way we can, both through support, both financially, morally, and otherwise. And also, we let those that are outside of the prison to know the dangers that are attached to crime, why they should shun crime, why they shouldn't even look at it. And that to also share some of the compelling stories of people, persons in prison, how they got there. And some you just see it's minor issue that could have been avoided, but because they lost it for a minute, and it became something they would regret for a lifetime. So all of these outreaches, all of these engagements we do have with people, both those in the correctional facilities and those outside of correctional facilities, it helps us to transform the lives of all those that are affected by crimes, and also help the community to be crime free. Yeah, thank you.